Good morning, everybody. Mike Vacchi from PrincetonTrader.com here for NTMarkets.com with your Tuesday morning pre-market webcast. Okay, daily chart of the ES. When we talked yesterday, we talked about two potential scenarios that involve the middle Bollinger Band and how I thought that yesterday was going to be a pretty big day in the markets. And it turned out to be, a big day, pivotal day, critical day, whatever you want to call it. Scenario one was that the bears would run it up to the middle band. The middle band would become resistance, and that would be the gateway for lower prices as these really tight Bollinger Bands, the tightest Bollinger Bands we've seen since September of 2012, expanded and would have caused a ride down the lower band to lower prices. Scenario two was that the bears would continue to do what they've done in the past, which is not be able to put 2 days in a row together, that the middle band would not be resistance, that the bulls would break through and head back up towards the upper band and up towards those 1568 highs. That scenario is playing out very nicely. And my concern now is in the absence of any significant news. Because, I mean, what has really knocked this market down since this started? Fiscal cliff, we bounce back there. Cyprus, we bounce back there. And then we had this hiccup with the jobs report, and we bounce back off of that. So in the absence of negative news, the kind of negative news that will shake longs out of the market, because the bears really aren't doing any organic selling, that's not knocking it down. They still haven't put 2 down days in a row together since February 22nd. So in the absence of that, we drift higher. So today's economic news, there's really nothing there. Tomorrow we got Fed minutes, 2 o'clock. Thursday's just a regular day with jobless claims. Friday you have a little more. You got PPI, you got retail sales. Bernanke speaks at 12:30. You've got consumer sentiment. So there's some catalysts on Friday. But as far as from now up into Fed minutes tomorrow and 2, there really isn't much there. So I find it very difficult to imagine too many scenarios where the bears are going to knock it down significantly, unless there's some piece of news out there that we're not aware of right now. In looking at the pivot points, and these can be found every morning on our website, PrincetonTrader.com. In looking at the pivot points, you've got a really tight triple pivot area from 1551.75 to 1553.5. If we do get a significant pullback off of these highs, we're trading 1562 right now as I'm speaking. If we get a pullback to that area, or even to the daily at 1555, and that area holds, that's a nice place to take a long for a shot at new highs, for a shot at this volatility expanding to the upside. You can kind of start to see, these bands are starting to expand out. They will not stay this tight for long. And when the move happens, in whatever and the hardest part about trading these things is you don't know which way they're going to go. Okay? And anticipating which way they're going to go can really get you hurt. But once they start moving, there's always enough time to get in, and there's always it always goes a lot farther than you think. So the bears have really got to do something, or they're just going to open the door to another leg higher. They have to do it in the next day, 2 days tops. They've got to find their feet and push it back down towards the middle band. Otherwise, the bulls are just going to go ahead and run as they have in the past. The only other thing I will tell you in looking at the pivots, down here you see the 45-day pivot, 1536.33. That is only 32 handles from the 1568 peak price. That is neutral. It is not overbought. We don't get into overbought levels until we get in excess of 50 with respect to the 45-day pivot. So, that pivot is reflecting the tightness of the bands as well. And as price moves, that pivot will not move much because of all the consolidation. So that is an indicator that I will be watching going forward for an indication if the bulls do run with this higher as to where it may be a little bit too stretched. Okay, everybody have a fantastic day. Mike Vacchi for PrincetonTrader.com, here for NTMarkets.com. Trade them well, everybody. I'll be back with another webcast tomorrow.